Welcome to our new episode. Today we will be discussing about electrical safety basic awareness. So in this presentation, we will be studying the causes of injuries due to electrical problems, and we will also be providing some solutions and how to prevent problems on electrical safety. So let us try to start discussing this slide. This slide is downloaded from the website of the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Authority. So I found out that this slide or PowerPoint presentation is very comprehensive. That is why I decided to use it to discuss safety awareness to my students, on their subject, basic electricity 2. So this electrical safety basic awareness is uh, done by the OSHA in the United States of America, or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So let's start. An average of one worker is electrocuted on the job every day. So ganun po kadami ang nagiging victim ng electrocution every day. So there are four main types of electrical injuries. We have electrocution or death due to electrical shock. We have also electrical shock, which does not result to death. We have also burns and falls. So these are the four main types of electrical injuries. According to the US Fire Statistics on Electrical Fire Causes, these are some of the contributory factors on the ignition of fire. We have unclassified electrical failure or malfunction. We have unspecified short circuit arc. We have also short circuit arc from defective or worn insulation. We have also arc or spark from operating equipment. We have also arc from faulty contact or broken conductor. And we have also short circuit arc from mechanical damage. And we have also water caused short circuit arc. So the greatest contributory factor to ignition is the unclassified electrical failure or malfunction. Now, how is an electrical shock received? When two wires have different potential voltages, current will flow if they are connected. So in most household, wiring, the black wires are at 110. Sa Amerika, 110 ang kanilang voltages. Pero dito sa Pilipinas, we have 220. But in most household wiring in the US, the black wires are at 110 volts relative to the ground. The white wires are at 0 volts because they are connected to the ground. So contact with an energized live black wire while touching the white ground wire would result to electrical shock. Now, one of the causes of, or one of the electrical problems common to us is what we call electrical burns. These are the most common shock-related non-fatal injury. So electrical burns occur when you touch electrical wiring or equipment that is improperly used or maintained. So kapag may mga open live wires at nahawakan natin, then we can acquire electrical burns. Often than not, electrical burns occurs on the head, on the hands. Okay? And often than not, it requires immediate attention. We have also falls. Electrical shock can also cause indirect or secondary injury. So falling is a secondary injury. Employees working in an elevated location who experience a shock can fall, resulting in serious injury or even death. We have also inadequate wiring hazards. A hazard exists when a conductor is too small to safely carry the current. Example, using a portable tool with an extension cord that has a wire too small for the tool. So the tool draws more current than cord can handle, and it can result to overheating or possible fire without tripping the circuit breaker. So minsan, yung electricity or the load is very high, hindi kaya ng mga ginagamit nating mga cord. So it imposes hazard. So circuit breakers could be the right size for the circuit but not for the smaller wire extension cord. We have also hazards of overloading. So too many devices plug into circuits. Ang nangyayari, wires heat up to very high temperature and of course it can cause fire. So ito ang isang picture ng overloading. Okay? So the wire insulation melts and arcing may occur, which will result fire in an area where overload exists. Okay? So minsan dahil kulang tayo sa mga outlet, okay? Gumagamit tayo, nag-overload tayo lalo na sa mga extensions. Yun nagkakaroon minsan ng sunog. Now, let us try to discuss some electrical protective devices. Okay? So, paano tayo makakaiwas ng fire? Una, shut off electricity flow in the event of an overload or ground fault in the circuit. Pangalawa, include fuses, circuit breakers. So, kailangan natin ng mga fuses, mga circuit breakers, and ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCI. Ground fault circuit interrupters. Fuses and circuit breakers are overcurrent devices. So, too much current that would cause fuses to melt and circuit breakers to trip open. Now, ano naman itong tinatawag nating ground fault circuit interrupter? Ang mga ground fault circuit interrupter, they protects us from dangerous electrical shock. It detects a difference in current between the black and white wires or circuit wires that could happen when electrical equipment is not working properly, causing a current leakage known as ground fault. So, when the ground fault is detected by the GFCI can shut off electricity flow in as little as 1/40 of a second, protecting you from a dangerous shock. Now, these are some example of the OSHA electrical requirements. Nagre-require sila ng grounding path. Okay? The path to ground from circuits, equipment, and enclosures must be permanent and continuous. The violation shown here in this photo is an extension cord with the third grounding prong missing. Ito, yung grounding prong minsan inaalis. Why? Para maisaksak itong cord na ito sa normal outlet. Okay? Kaya naalis nila yung grounding prong. Okay? Handheld electrical tools pose a potential danger because they make continuous contact with the hand. And to protect you from shock, burns, and electrocution, tools must have a 3-wire cord with ground and plugged into a grounded receptacle or be double insulated. Okay? Dapat yung mga hinawakan natin dito, they are double insulated or be powered by a low voltage isolation transformer. Now, paano naman natin ginagard yung mga or pinoprotektahan yung mga live parts? We must guard live parts of electric equipment operating at a greater than or equal to 50 volts against accidental contact. Paano? Una, We can use approved cabinets or enclosures or location or permanent partitions, thereby only accessible to qualified persons. Number three, elevation of 8 feet or more above the floor or working surface. And number four, mark entrances to guard locations with conspicuous warning signs. Okay, so that's how these are the ways and how to guard live parts para hindi ito mapasok ng mga tao or animals which can acquire electrocution. Yan. We need also to guard live parts where electrical equipment is in locations that it can suffer physical damage. And makikita mo dito, okay, is a violation of a violation shown here is physical damage to conduit. Okay? Yan, kung mapapansin mo, nasira na itong mga conduit dito. So, kailangan na itong i-guard. Okay? Now, junction boxes, pull boxes, and fittings must have approved covers. So, kung tingnan niyo itong box na ito, wala na siyang cover. Okay? Unused openings in cabinets, boxes, and fittings must be closed and no missing knockouts. And etong photo na ito is a violation. Okay? So, kailangan may mga approved covers ang mga junction boxes natin. This is, etong part na ito, tinatawag na junction. Okay? And etong covering niya, etong part na ito is what you call the junction box. Kailangan may cover ito. This is very dangerous na wala siyang cover. Now, pwede rin tayong gumamit ng mga flexible cords para maging safe, no? Flexible cords are more vulnerable than fixed wiring. These are made these are made of industrial commercial quality. But ang mga flexible cords, hindi sila pwedeng gamitin as permanent wiring. Okay? Yung maling paggamit ng mga flexible cords na ito, it can cause shocks, burns, or fire. So, pag gumagamit tayo ng mga flexible cords, dapat it is approved by testing agencies. Okay? Yan. So, kapag gagamit tayo ng mga flexible cords, like for example, sa mga extensions, bago natin gamitin ang mga extensions, they should be uncoiled. Okay? So, delikado kapag gumagamit tayo ng mga extension na coiled. Okay? And also, pag gumagamit tayo ng mga flexible cords, be sure that the amperage of the cord is appropriate for the job you are doing. Okay? Baka naman masyadong mataas yung amperage sa tinatrabaho mo na hindi kaya ng flexible cords. And do not use equipment that delivers mild electrical shocks or gives off unusual heat or smells odd. Okay? Pag gumagamit ka ng mga equipment at nagbibigay siya ng hindi magandang amoy, okay, huwag nang gamitin or tingnan yung problema. If you are in doubt, you may ask an electrician or anyone that is authorized to repair or replace equipments. Okay? Now, yung mga flexible cords or extension cords, they shall not be fastened with staples. Huwag natin silang staple. Or do not hang them by nails or suspended by wires. Okay? Halimbawa ng mga extension cord na fastened with staple, itong mga ito. Okay? Hindi sila fixed cord. Okay? These are flexible cords. Okay, so hindi pwede ang mga ito. Now, this is some example or illustration where flexible cords are permissible. Okay? So, we have here a pendant or fixture wiring. Okay, so pwede ito. We have also portable lamps. Pwede rin sa mga portable lamps or tools or appliances. Pwede rin sa mga stationary equipment or to facilitate interchange. Okay? Yan, so po pwede. Pero these are some illustration where flexible cords are prohibited. Flexible cords are not substitute for fixed wiring. Okay, so hindi pwede na ang wire dito ay flexible cords. Ang kailangan dito, yung mga fixed cord or mga pang-fixed wiring. Hindi rin po pwede na yung mga flexible cords, they run through walls or ceiling. Okay. Or hindi rin pwede na concealed behind or attached to building surfaces na gaya nito. Okay? Ang ginagamit dyan, mga fixed cord na may open wires and safe. Okay? Yung mga oxygen tanks natin malapit sa kinakabit pa natin or tinatali sa ating mga electrical wires, hindi po pwede. Okay? Yan. Okay? Doon kung saan yung mga boxes natin, electrical boxes natin, doon din tayo naglalagay ng ating mga tools. Okay? Hindi po pwede. Yan. Or yung mga cleaning materials nakasabit sa ating mga boxes, electrical boxes, hindi po pwede. Pwede kang makuryente or electrical shock. Okay, mga open wires, hindi. Okay? Yan. Mga tinetape lang, or mga ini-screw ng mga cords natin. Okay, these are very dangerous. Pwede kang electric shock dito. Okay, yan yung mga open live wires. They are very unsafe. And ito, overloading naman ito. Okay. O yung mga outlet natin na may mga lumalabas ng mga umuusli ng mga metals. Okay, it can cause electric shock. Yan, mga open live wires. These are very okay, nagtatrabaho tayo and the wires are near liquids. It's a big no-no, pwede kang makuryente. Okay, yan yung mga pinagdikit-dikit at pinagdugtong-dugtong ng mga outlets. Okay, hindi po pwede yan. Okay, pag sinaksakan na lahat ito, and then yung wire niya, napakanipis, okay, hindi niya kakayanin yung load na nire-require ng mga outlets. So, these are very okay. Now, let us try to discuss the top 5 electrical fire causes. Okay. Number 1, most electrical fires are caused by faulty electrical outlets and old, outdated appliances. Yan. Okay, so minsan nagkakaroon ng electrical fire kasi may problema sa paglalagay ng mga electrical outlets at yung mga appliances na masyado ng luma. Okay? Removing the grounding plug also from a cord so it can be used in a two-prong electrical outlet can also cause a fire. Yan, sinabi ko na yan kanina na inaalis natin yung grounding plug para maisaksak natin sa two-prong electrical outlet. Hindi po pwede yun. Number 2, light fixtures, lamps, and light bulbs are another common reasons for electrical fires. Why? Minsan, naglalagay tayo ng mga bulb na ang wattage ay mas mataas kaysa sa nire-require ng ating light fixtures. Okay? Halimbawa, 110 ang required and naglalagay ka ng 150. hindi hindi safe yun. Okay, it can cause fire. So always check the maximum recommended bulb wattage of on any lighting fixture or lamp and never go over the recommended amount. Okay, so tingnan lagi yung required wattage ng lamp. Kapag 100 lang ang required, huwag maglalagay ng 150. Okay? Kapag naglagay ka ng more than what is required, it can cause fire. Number 3, misuse of extension cords is another electrical fire cause or it can cause electrical fire. Okay, halimbawa nito. Yan. Napakanipis or undersized yung extension cord natin. Ginamit mo sa isang 1,500 watt heater. Okay? Yan, masusunog. Magkukos ng sunog. Okay? Appliances should be plugged directly into an outlet and not plugged into an extension cord for any length of time. Halimbawa, freezer. Sinaksak mo sa extension cord. Hindi po pwede. Or aircon. Sinaksak mo sa extension cord. Hindi po pwede. Sigurado magkakasunog. Only use extension cords as a temporary measure lang. But of course, there are so many considerations when you use extension cords. Okay, the load required, kailangan niya. At marami pang iba. If you do not have the appropriate type of outlets for your appliances, hire an electrician to install new ones. Yan, so. And then kapag nagdadagdag kayo ng mga appliances sa bahay, it is also safe to ask an electrician or an authorized person to check kung kaya pa ng load required ng mga appliances ninyo. Okay? Pa-check nyo mabuti bago kayo magdagdag. Like for example, magdadagdag kayo ng tawag nito air condition, pakita niyo muna yung wirings ninyo kung kaya pa. Kasi minsan dagdag tayo ng dagdag ng appliances, hindi na pala kaya ng ating wirings o ng ating circuit. That's the time na nagkukos ng sunog. Okay. Number 4, space heaters are a major source or major cause of electrical fires. Okay? Because these types of heaters are portable, many times people put them too close to combustible surfaces. Heater, tataas yan ng heat. Okay? And then, nilalapit mo sa mga combustible materials, yun. It can cause fire. Okay? Coil space heaters are especially dangerous. If you do use space heaters, use the radiator type that diffuse heat over the entire surface of the appliance. Okay? And number 5, outdated wiring often cause electrical fires. Yan, yung mga wirings natin, maganda na regularly pa-check naman natin sa mga electricians. Kasi pag outdated na, minsan may mga breakers na outdated or mga breaker boxes na outdated. Yung mga connections doon, hindi na gumagana. Okay? So pag hindi na yung gumagana, it can cause electrical fire. So maganda na ina-update natin yung mga wiring natin. Now, how can we assure that we are safe? Okay? Una, check the information on your cord. Kaya pag gumagamit tayo ng mga cords, i-check ninyo yung information ng inyong cord. Dapat may proper labels, okay? So extension cords are labeled with valuable information as to the use, the size, and wattage rating of the cord. So cords offered in many lengths are labeled with size or gauge. And determine the gauge needed. All appliances indicate how much wattage is consumed when operated. Okay? So, kapag gumagamit ng cord, tignan kung ilang wattage ang nire-require ng appliance na pinanggagamitan ninyo ng cord. And then, pag alam niyo yung information ng cord, i-check ninyo pag nagja-jive yung wattage rating ng cord dun sa wattage ng appliance. Okay? And then decide whether you will be using the appliance indoors or outdoors. Gagamitin mo ba ang appliance outdoors? In that case, iba yung paggamit natin ng mga cords, or indoors. Okay, magkaiba din, magkaiba ang safety preparations. Okay? So extension cords that can be used outdoors will be clearly marked suitable for use with outdoor appliances. Yeah, never use an indoor extension cord outdoors. It could result in an electrical shock or fire hazard. Okay? Yan, kasi may mga extension na design that can withstand some amount of water, di ba? Mayroon yung mga tinatawag na hygroscopic wires. Okay? So, tignan mabuti kung yung cord gagamitin sa labas or sa loob. Kasi minsan yung mga wires na uulanan. Okay? Baka hindi pwede yung cords na gagamitin mo sa labas. Okay? Iba yung mga cords na ginagamit outdoor, iba din yung mga cords na ginagamit indoor. So, i-check maigi. Okay? I-decide. Yung appliance ba yan ay ginagamit sa labas or gagamitin yan sa bahay? And then determine how long you need the cord to be. Okay? A cord based on its gauge can power an appliance of a certain wattage only at a specific distance. Okay? So, gaano kahaba ang gagamitin mo na cord? Gaano kalayo yung appliance dun sa outlet? Okay? Why? Because as cord gets longer, the current carrying capacity of the cord gets lower. Pag masyadong mahaba naman yung extension. Okay? Halimbawa, 16 gauge extension cord less than 50 feet in length can power a 1,625 watt appliance. But 16 gauge cord that is longer than 50 feet can only power an appliance up to 1,250 watts. So, bumababa yung wattage habang lumalayo. Okay? So, kung mas mahaba yung cord natin, mas bababa yung output na wattage. And then, place the cord correctly. May tamang paglalagay ng mga cord. Do not place underneath carpets or heavy furnitures. Okay? Nilalagay underneath carpets yung mga cords natin. Hindi po pwede. And should not be tucked in place to a wall or taped down. Should not be used while coiled or bent. Okay? And match the length of the cord to the length of your needs. Diniscuss natin yan kanina. Tignan kung gaano kalayo yung appliance na panggagamitan natin nung cord. Okay? Of course, another way para maiwasan ang electrical problem or problems, okay, we need also to train ourselves or our people. Okay, we train employees working with electrical equipment in safe working practices, including de-energizing electrical equipment before inspecting or making repairs, using electrical tools in good repair, using good judgment when working near energized linings. So, dapat mataas yung tinatawag na soft skill ng mga employees natin. Okay? Dapat tina-training natin yung mga employees natin to use their soft skill or their critical thinking. Okay? And then using appropriate protective equipment. Kailangan lagi ito kapag nagtatrabaho, yung PPE na tinatawag. Okay, lalo na sa maritime, laging ine-emphasize kapag nagtatrabaho, use proper PPE. Laging naka PPE. Pag nagtatrabaho naman using involving electricity, gumamit ng tamang gloves. Okay? At yung mga tools natin dapat properly insulated. Okay? So in summary, extension cords must be of proper size and temperature rating to withstand the electrical load and approved by recognized testing agency. And locally purchased extension cords may not meet this standard. So minsan, hindi rin maganda na tayo na lang gumagawa ng mga extensions natin, mga ganyan. May mga tao na talagang authorized to do these jobs. And always check applicable regulations, standards before buying or using extension cords at work. Kaya nga minsan, eto, binibigay, kung hindi man yung electrician ang bumibili, okay, sila na lang ang nagre-require at tayo ang bumibili. And then sila ulit ang gumagawa. Okay, hindi yung gagawa na lang tayo based on our budget, mga ganun. Delikado yun. Okay? So, these are some of the hazards that that we can see when we work. Okay? We have inadequate wiring, exposed electrical parts, wires with bad insulation, ungrounded electrical tools or systems, overloaded circuits, damaged power tools equipment, overhead power lines. And of course, mas na delikado na naman ito kapag basa or at wet condition. Okay? So, dito sa slides na ito, we have learned some protective measures, okay, to avoid electrical injuries or electrical problems. We have discussed proper grounding as a good measure. And then we have also discussed using GFCIs and using fuses and circuit breakers, proper use of flexible cords, and of course, training. Okay? So, this is a slide made by the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry, especially the OSHA or the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So, meron sila ditong numbers and an address and Facebook link if you want to ask ask more information regarding this slide. Pero sa mga estudyante natin, kapag meron kayong questions with regards to this discussion, you may ask me your questions personally. So I hope you learned and